Today we present or talk about computer science programs in Germany. Here are the guests. We have programs on master and bachelor level. And I, of course, thank all guests for their time to join the webinar and also teams from the universities to help. I also want to mention my German university, which is Germany's largest study program database, where you can find study programs that are offered by German universities, be it private or public, different types, and so on. Later on, I can show you how you can really efficiently use the study finder to narrow down your search and find most suitable program in a short amount of time. Check out the articles. For example, if today you will ask me about blocked account or scholarship or about living in Germany and similar things, I will most likely, of course, I will answer you as well, but also give you for further reading articles which are translated. There are lots of articles and we think they are very comprehensive and they will definitely answer your question. I have experience of sharing those articles for a few years now, and this really works. And of course, our webinars. First of all, we are happy to have subject webinars when you can already, during a webinar, connect with your future program, hopefully. And we also have general webinars when we present broader topics about visa, UNIAS list, and other things. Feel free to also join those in case you have general questions. Maybe today some of the programs are using UNIAS as the application portal and you don't know how to register there. So we have a webinar in this regard where we step by step show you how to register. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, Germany. We have now most German team members, but I am an exception. I'm very international one, and I'm always very happy to share with you my way how I applied and studied in Germany and then stayed there a bit longer for the job. All right, now as mentioned, you can use our study finder to narrow down your search. And for example, for computer science or programs that are in the field of computer science, there are 540 degrees, bachelor's, master's breakdown here. And then you can always adjust different filters. These are the quick ones, most frequently used ones. We also have a whole list of filters and you can combine as many things as you like. Maybe you already have IELTS score and you can also have your point there, and then the program will the programs that are accepting your IELTS score will show up. Then when you have a result, you can also sort the programs by, I don't know, deadline, location, ranking, or popularity, or some other things. And you can, it's also always possible. You can always heart the programs and have everything that you need to know in one place and never miss a deadline and so on. Check out also subject pages. Those are really interactive, provide description of the subject, average tuition fees from no tuition fees to maximum possible application, admission, language requirements, and some other stuff. And those subject pages are a lot because the computer science has also its breakdown, so you can also have a look there. We always encourage you checking each program individually. This is the reason why we also have subject webinars to show that each program is very different, also unique, and they have their own requirements. And to make a good decision, we always advise checking the program information, curriculum, everything is available online, so that you are making an informed decision. About the universities in Germany, in case you are asking why we are talking about universities and universities of applied sciences, they are both so accredited, and there is no differences in diploma. The thing is that usually programs offered by universities are more research and theory oriented. Universities of applied sciences have usually practice and application oriented programs. Of course, there could be exceptions on both sides. Today, we also have professors who are more knowledgeable in this direction than I am. So if you also have questions, then you can also ask them, and they provide their own insight. And once again, please always check before checking what are the documents to be sent to a program like motivation letter or, I don't know, project or anything. please make sure that you meet qualification requirements, because in case you do not meet qualification requirements, and for example, this proof of background knowledge, you are required to have, I don't know, certain amount ECTS in subject, and you don't have it, and you are from absolutely different field, you are not eligible to apply, even though you have an absolutely outstanding motivation letter and stuff. So it's always very important to check your qualification requirements. And then, of course, you need to have a look and send all the requested documents to a study program. And don't forget to double check your GPA in case, and of course, it will be required in German GPA. So if you don't know how to convert, I can also put the links in chat. All right, now right away, let's listen to Professor Dr. Andreas Nucha, who will be talking about the Masters in Computer Science from Universität Würzburg.
And now see a set of slides from our university, from University of Würzburg. Let me start a little bit about myself. I think computer science, or sometimes in Germany we call this informatics, more like the British word, is actually awesome. It's an awesome topic, and I have here collected a slides with students who studied actually with me, so wrote their bachelor or their master's thesis with me, and who made it into the big companies. Yeah, for instance, 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘆, he made it to Twitter, it's now X. Yeah, Flavia made it to Facebook. Yeah, and Remus and Ankur made it to Microsoft. Yeah, so studying with me personally may bring you up to these companies, and of course I'm more or less proud of having many PhD students worldwide who did their masters with me. So the message is computer science informatics is awesome, and why you want to study in Würzburg. Würzburg is actually a lovely small town in Germany. It's right in the center of Germany, or a little bit south. Yeah, we call this region here where Würzburg is located, northern Bavaria. And it's actually the center of the European Union. This is right next to a town to Würzburg. So it's in the center of Europe. It's a small, lovely town, so it's not a big city. It's not like Berlin, Hamburg, or Munich, which it's just too large, and I don't want to live there. That's why I'm not living there. And we are a small city with roughly 120,000 inhabitants, and it's an old town. We have a famous, that's where the word Burg, we have a famous fortress here, but we also have a world heritage, a UNESCO World Heritage, a residence, a palace here. Yeah, so Würzburg is actually located in Bavaria. It's in between Frankfurt and Munich. You probably want to fly into Frankfurt, but Munich is also okay. We are 130,000 citizens, and many Americans I meet, they actually know Würzburg since it's the start of the Romantic Road. This is where all the tourists fly in, then they take their car and go down this Romantic Road right to the Alpine Mountains. Yeah. If you compare the size, how many people live here to the number of students, you see we are actually a student city. So quite a lot of students live in Würzburg, and we have 10 faculty, and they are distributed over 55 institutes, and we offer a whole variety of degree programs. We're actually a highly ranked university. We have right now the chance of becoming an elite university, so getting the rank of the best university in Germany, and we are close to getting these ranks. We have a broad computer science field. We have a broad computer science professorship, and all the professors actually do their special things. Yeah, like Alexander Wolf, he talks about efficient algorithms. Christian Glaser, he talks about complexity theory. We have software engineering, secure software systems, communication networks, computer vision, model-based simulation, artificial intelligence, satellite communication, satellite rocket control, I would say. We have aerospace computing, we have aerospace technology, we have Earth observation for aerospace systems, we have human-computer interaction, media informatics, games engineering, data science, natural language processing, machine learning, computer engineering, and I'm actually the robotics prof here. Yeah, at this university. This continues here for the computational humanities, reinforcement learning for computational decision making, and actually we have a lot of unfulfilled professorships since we actually enlarge our computer science department. We are getting more, we are a growing department since local government puts more money into the system. We are all the professors are very, very research oriented, and you may, if you have a specific subtopic you are interested in, you may look at the corresponding professor teaching it here. You may also have a look at their Google Scholar pages, and then actually you see how often a scientist is cited and how important it is what he actually does in research. Yeah, and the most famous professor probably in computer science in Würzburg is Radu Timofte. He's actually a Romanian, and he has more citations than all the other computer science professors in sum. Yeah. So he is very important, and he, for instance, looks into algorithms that make your or that scale up your computer images. So if you have a 4K television and only a full HD signal, how can AI help to make the quality better, such that it's actually impressing you? Yeah, the same or similar, Andreas Hoto, he's actually our data science professor, and he tries to understand how modern AI systems work, like ChatGPT and DeepSeek, and he even learned his own large language model. I myself, I'm a roboticist, and we form actually here a subgroup. You may have noticed this when I was introducing the colleagues. We do not just have computer science in Würzburg, we have also topics like aerospace computer science, and this is actually what fascinates me, how to build actually robots, intelligent systems, and to send them to other planets. Yeah, so I'm fascinated here from this Wikipedia page where you see actually Spirit and Opportunity, 𝘱𝘈𝘔𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘈, and all the vehicles that actually operate off Earth, so not on this Earth. Yeah, you may have heard about Perseverance and Ingenuity, a small copter, which is unfortunately now broken, but a very large rover that explores, for instance, Mars. Yeah, and in this aerospace computer science, we also do a lot of research, especially we as roboticists do a lot of research. And here actually you see two PhD students of mine, Dorit and Helge, and Matthias Maurer. He's actually astronaut. He was the last German who flew to the ISS. Carrying some robotic equipment here in a cave, since the European Space Agency thinks the caves on the moon look pretty much the same as the cave here, since it's a so-called lava tube. Or in the same way, we recently, again, you see here a mixture of European Space Agency people and PhD students and postdocs of mine. Here actually we constructed an underwater, watertight virtual reality headset such that astronauts, here again Matthias Maurer, can actually train himself and being outside of the ISS in space. The computer science department actually features a Center for Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, the so-called 𝘗𝘓𝑑𝑎S Center. It focuses on AI and data science research. This is now also pretty common since it's very trendy that these centers actually exist at German universities. Yeah, and within the computer science department, we have this subgroup running actually a master in aerospace informatics, and you can change between this master and the pure computer science master relatively easy. Yeah, and in the end, it doesn't really matter if you study normal computer science and you are interested in robotics, you still can take the classes. What do you need for applying here in Würzburg? You need a bachelor degree in computer science or a related field. So we analyze your application, and if your application is from electrical engineering and you have programming courses, this will probably be fine. If your bachelor is in art and history, it will be probably not fine. Yeah, so a bachelor degree is required, computer science preferred. Then you need Uni Assist VBT, so we check actually preliminary review documentation. We check your documents, and you need to send the check result with your application. Yeah. Also, which needs to be made clear, since this is also not often not the case at foreign universities, that you have written a master's thesis or some other scientific work project, that you worked on something scientifically, and you should make this clear in this application. If you don't have a bachelor thesis, make clear what scientific project is very similar to a bachelor thesis. The applications, March 15 is obviously now gone, but there will be a second round. So there will be actually 2 rounds per year. And this will be, this will be treated continuously. Often also the visa don't arrive in time. And of course, once you have been accepted for Würzburg, your entrance will be deferred to the next semester. Yeah. So what you need, bachelor degree in computer science or related field, Uni Assist, deadlines are twice a year. And for more information, we have here 3 URLs, which you may actually check before. Yeah, so we have a prospective student in the computer science department, how to apply for a master study, and then the official application goes under some portal, which is called here actually 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘈. What do you need to study in Würzburg? What you need to know. Würzburg actually has no tuition and fees, while, for instance, Technical University of Munich has. We don't have it. You will learn for us or with us. What you need to learn is that you need to have some organizational talent and the ability to work in a team and independently. You may be interested in mathematics and complex problems, yeah. And sometimes what you need actually is patience, and you need English language skills. What you don't need is German language. So our study program runs completely in English. But of course, knowing a little bit German make life easier. And if you're in a supermarket and you understand a little bit, it's helpful, but it's not needed. Also, you don't need actually the fastest computer and the most expensive GPU. So I always say with a Raspberry Pi, you can perfectly go through your study program. Yeah, since primarily you will learn general concept and techniques. We focus here at German universities in Würzburg to long-lasting knowledge. So we want to enable you to survive until you are 60, 65, 70. Yeah, so with in the economy, so you will learn how to learn new things. Yeah, and this includes the ability to abstract and conceptualize, and you will be then able to learn independently. What you also learn is specialized knowledge in several areas. For me, robotics and aerospace informatics, but if you are interested in software engineering or secure software systems or theoretical computer science or algorithms, you all learn specialized knowledge in several areas here. How is actually studying structured? We have a lot of lectures here in Würzburg, and every lecture is usually accompanied by an exercise session. And in the lectures, people like me tell you the technical basis. We may prove things on the blackboard, yeah, and discuss applications. And in the exercises, we do then transfer, consolidation. We will play with real software. We, so to say, ensure that you have learned what is in lectures. Yeah, lectures are usually given by professors, while exercise sessions are postdocs, PhD students, and sometimes even professors. Yeah. We expect you to follow up work. Yeah, every week you get an assignment which you have to solve, and you rework the coursework in study groups. Yeah. In addition to this, we will have seminars. Seminars is more like a flipped classroom. You will stand in front of the class and tell the others something that they need to learn. And we also do have a lot of practical courses, and we are doing a lot of independent research with our students. So you will get involved in all the research projects. And it's actually quite common that you will, or the good master students will get their name on scientific papers presented at workshops, symposia, conferences, or sometimes even journal publications. So that's it for my small presentation for our advertising Würzburg. I hope to see you all for your master studies in Würzburg. And now I'm happy to take questions.
Thank you very much, Professor 𝘱𝘱, for the information you provided. Dear attendees, feel free to post your questions in Q&A. Some of them will be addressed in written, others in live, or maybe we will repeat some of them once again in the live Q&A session. Now I would like to share my screen to give the mic to Dr. Thomas Korzec, who will be presenting Master Computer Simulation in Sciences from University of Wuppertal.
It's a great pleasure to have the opportunity to present to you our master program, which is called Computer Simulation in Science and is based at the University of Wuppertal. I will start introducing to you our city. Wuppertal is located in the western corner of Germany. It's a very densely populated corner. We are surrounded by larger cities than Wuppertal itself, but Wuppertal has about 350,000 inhabitants, so it's a large city by itself. When you travel here, you will most likely use one of the international airports, Düsseldorf, Cologne, or Dortmund, but also arriving from Frankfurt is no problem. Moreover, Wuppertal is connected to the European high-speed railway system, and you can comfortably and quickly reach many German and European cities. Well, the big advantage of the location is that you can be very quickly in larger cities. For instance, the state capital Düsseldorf is only 20 minutes away by train. Cologne, which is the fourth largest city of Germany, is only half an hour. But at the same time, Wuppertal is surrounded by beautiful nature. Everywhere outside of the city boundaries, you will find landscapes like the one depicted here. Other advantages of the location are that the living costs are very affordable compared to, for example, Düsseldorf. There is excellent public transport. We have this unique suspended railway as one mode of transport. Wuppertal is one of the greenest cities of its size in Germany. And because the region is very industrial, there is plenty of job opportunities for people with a degree like the one that we are offering. Wuppertal has a rich history. It has a very student-friendly nightlife, vibrant cultural scene, and a diverse and international community. The university itself is middle-sized. We have about 20,000 students, 10% of which are international students. The staff is about 4,000 persons. We are organized into 9 schools. The CSIS study program is based at the School of Natural Sciences and Mathematics. And as a full university, we, of course, have a big focus on research as well. The university is connected internationally very well. We have over 180 Erasmus partnerships and students from over 100 countries. The master program that I'm presenting to you, Computer Simulation Science, is quite unique. At our university, it's one of the few programs that is taught entirely in English. The start is in the winter term every year. There are no tuition fees, but every student, not only for CSIS, but every student in Wuppertal pays a semester fee of about 340 euros that contains a public transport pass for all of Germany. The program is, of course, accredited, and this master degree is recognized in the whole world. It's interdisciplinary, with main focus on mathematics, informatics, and natural sciences. It's research-oriented in the sense that after graduating, you will be prepared to pursue a PhD at any other university or be a valuable employee in a research and development department of a company. As you will see in a second, part of the program is a specialization, and some of the specializations are in cooperation with engineering departments at our university. I should also mention that our university has an international office, but there is a special secretary just for the CSIS program that can help you. The curriculum is the following. So the whole program is designed to be finished in 2 years, 4 semesters. In the last semester, you will be entirely working on your master thesis. In the 3 remaining semesters, you take courses. There is the block of compulsory courses that I will explain in a second, and then there is your specialization course on the right side. So the compulsory courses are summarized here. They fall into these 3 families of courses. One family is computer simulations, where you take introduction to computer simulation courses 1 and 2, and lab courses where you apply your knowledge. They are programming labs. Then there is data analysis and parallel programming that belong to this family. Computer science is more focused not so much on the simulation aspect, but on the programming aspect. So you learn modern aspects of programming, virtualization. Then you can choose between tools or Bayesian learning, which is has to do with artificial intelligence. There is again a choice here in this 3rd semester between image processing and data visualization and virtualization too. And finally, this 3rd family is more mathematical. It's numerical methods, but with a deep theory. The courses here are numerical analysis and simulation, or advanced numerics, or mathematical machine learning in the 1st semester. Then in the 2nd, you again have a choice between numerical methods 2A, which is numerical analysis and simulation, or numerical methods in classical field theory and quantum mechanics. And in the 3rd term, there is numerical linear algebra. So this is what everybody has to do. And then you select your specialization. And for this, you can choose out of the specializations listed here. We have atmospheric physics, computational electromagnetics, computational finance, computational fluid mechanics, detector physics, imaging in medicine, molecular and materials modeling, and theoretical particle physics. So very different specializations, and each of them come again with different choices. So you have to gather 2 times 8 credit points from your specialization, but how you get those, there is a lot of choice. So if you are interested in joining us, you will need at least a bachelor's degree, either in mathematics or chemistry or electrical engineering or mathematics or mechanical engineering. or in applied science, which has to be good with a grade that in the German system would correspond to at least a 3.0. In addition, depending on your specialization, you might need to know other things. For example, if you would choose theoretical particle physics as your specialization, we would ask you to also know already quantum mechanics, and each specialization has their own requirements. Then you should already have learned at least one programming language in your bachelor's degree, and you must have a foundation in mathematics, as it is taught in any engineering degree at the bachelor level. Then the timeline for application is, as I said, we start only in winter. For the coming winter semester, it's already too late to apply, but you could apply for the winter term 2026, and then the timeline would be the following. The applications start this coming November and are closing end of March. You can follow this link to see which documents you need to collect and how the application process works in collaboration with UniAssist. After UniAssist gives you the green light, we do an additional scientific check whether to see whether you are qualified for your chosen specialization. And then once this is done, you will be admitted to study not later than June 15th, which leaves you enough time to get a visa and so on. That's it. If you have questions, please ask them in the chat. You can contact us via this email address. And if you would like to hear more, there will be a longer webinar July 10th. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all the information, Dr. Korzec, and also thank you very much, Victoria, for writing the email and other information. I was about to write it, and you were faster, so thanks a lot. And I will also, if you have the link for the how to register for the upcoming longer session, feel free to also put it there so it's easier. Maybe somebody also wants to join your session as well. Thanks again for all the input. Now I will share my screen. And now let's talk about the bachelor's program, Bachelor Data Science and AI from the University of Bayreuth. We have Professor Dr. Vadim Einziger, who will be presenting the study program, and it will...
I am presenting a bachelor program, Data Science AI, at the University of Bayreuth. And let me first talk a little bit about the university. So our university is relatively young. It was founded in 1975, but it's still old enough to have gathered enough reputation by now. So we are a small university, but we are very much research-oriented university. We are also very international. You see the statistics about number of international professors and students. And we also, as you see, have quite a few doctoral students. So because we are very active in different research areas, and we have lots of different research programs where people do their PhD studies. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, so I probably should also briefly introduce myself. My name is Vadim Einziger. I'm a professor for numerical method for partial differential equations. So I am part of the mathematics department at the University of Bayreuth, but I'm a very interdisciplinary type of scientist, also working in close contact with computer science topics and colleagues, and also with different people from different application areas, in particular people from geosciences, chemistry, biochemistry, and so on. And all of those colleagues are also participating in the designing and running this program that I'm presenting here. As I already mentioned, this is an interdisciplinary program. So our university is a small research university. We pay particularly close attention to the supervision of students at different levels, undergraduate levels, graduate levels, postgraduate levels, and this also is reflected in our ranking. So in terms of ratio between number of faculty members and number of students at the university, we are on the top level. So probably our ratio for Germany is unique. We are probably getting close to the ratio typical for American private universities. And we are also very highly ranked in many departments because of this, not in the least due to our research activities and also to the very high level of supervision and the way the students like this, to have this high level of supervision. I'm not going over all the statistics, but we are very highly ranked. And the usual part of the ranking that pulls us up is the highest satisfaction by the students. And in this satisfaction, we are ranked number 8 in Germany. So we are a campus university, which is a very rare thing in Germany. There are some universities that are campus universities, but we are one of the universities that was built from the beginning as a campus university. This is what you see on the screen is our entire university map. So this is practically our entire campus that you see here. And this is very compact location. We are located at the outskirts of the city of Bayreuth. City of Bayreuth is a small, relatively small town, even smaller than Würzburg, for example, that you've been presented at the beginning of this webinar. The city of Bayreuth has about 73,000 inhabitants. It's regionally very close to city of Würzburg, so we are in the same northern Bavarian area, very green, very landscape, very beautiful, historically very interesting city. And the university has been built right next to the city downtown area, and it has a compact location of the campus. We have 7 faculties, and except for the last faculty, all 6 that was built in a different town, all the core 6 faculties are built close to another. Those includes 2 faculties for natural sciences. This is faculty 1, that includes mathematics, physics, and computer science. Faculty 2 is biology, chemistry, and geosciences. Faculty 3, law and economics. 4 is language and literature, 5 cultural sciences, and faculty 6 engineering scientists. And you can go from any university campus building to another building due to the very compact design of the campus within less than 10 minutes. So we are all located very close to each other, and it helps a lot since basically we live this campus life as a community, and this also helps our international students to integrate and to come into university life, and not only as students, but also in the social life and the other activities connected to the campus, including sports facilities, concerts, common activities within the campus. There is lots of interesting things going on there. So we are very active research universities. Several research areas are particularly active here, and those profile fields, those are the areas of the research where we're particularly active. Those include natural engineering scientists, food and health sciences, humanities, social sciences, and also some other fields that intersect quite a lot within our campus. And one of the nice part of our campus that we are so compact and so closely integrated is, of course, that there is lots of opportunity to to sample different fields that lie outside maybe of your immediate area of interest, but have an opportunity to see for yourself is a very nice feature of our campus life. And this allows you to get involved in the things that you might have never heard before, never had an opportunity before to get involved with. So we have lots of support within our campus for different study activities. Also for our campus does not only include the lecture halls and facilities of the universities. Also, university has very large dorm facilities that are located right next to the universities. Our student cafeterias are open until late evening, and you can have not only lunch, which is typical, but you can also have food late in the evening, and you can use the student cafeteria facilities for your meetings, for solving your homework. So our student life is very much integrated into our study programs and our campus life, and this everything is coordinated on the campus to make the study experience most pleasant and most rewarding one. So there are some links that you can follow. The slides will be, of course, shared, and you can find out for yourself. So now let's go back to our main point of my presentation of the program. So we are not a computer science program, even though this webinar is a computer science webinar, we are an interdisciplinary program, but we have lots of computer science in our program. So the program is built of a common foundation in mathematics and computer science, followed by a broad range of specialization. It's a fully English taught program. There are some optional classes you can take in German, but those classes are not obligatory, so they're optional. So it's possible to fulfill this entire program just using the English. The program is 6-semester bachelor program. It's the first 3 semesters are foundations and orientation. So basically during those, I will go into a bit more detail afterwards. And the semesters 4 to 6 are specialization. And currently we offer 5 specializations: mathematics, computer science, natural life sciences, AI and data science, and human-centered data science. And within the specialization phase, everybody is accompanied individually by a mentor from a corresponding area of the science or the corresponding department. So application procedure, we only have winter intake for our program. Non-EU applicants, they have a 15th of July application deadline, and we only accept PPTs over UniAssist. And for EU applicants, it's 15th of October. So what are the requirements? So you need to have university entrance qualification for Germany. This is a common requirement for all universities. And you need to have a B2 in English. There are different ways to prove it. This could be one of the English tests like TOEFL or some Cambridge tests, but it's also possible to prove your English proficiency by showing certificate from an English educated school. You only need A1 in German, so on the beginner's qualification, and this requirement can also be provided after you start the program by the end of the 2nd semester of study, and the university offers German classes to get the certificate free of charge. For non-EU applicants, we have an additional test, the requirement. This is test AS, core module, also subject, plus the subject module, mathematics, computer science, and natural sciences, or SAT, a certificate with sufficiently high score. So I'm not citing a specific score, but you should aim for top 25% at least, better top 10%. So our program is very mathematics heavy. So it is first and foremost program for students who are not just interested in applying technologies in data science, computer science, in AI, but learning the underlying system behind those technologies, learning to design those systems, and learning to be somebody who can drive the future research and development behind those new technologies. So this is the reason that we require much higher level of mathematical proficiency, both for the admission to the program and within the program. So the level of mathematical requirements is certainly much higher than the standard level of mathematical requirements for typical computer science programs in the bachelor level. So let us look at the program structure. So the foundation orientation phase is common for all students. It basically consists of 3 semesters. The first 2 semesters are pretty much set. There is not much choice there. So you have foundations of high mathematics, mathematical analysis. So the green ones are the mathematical parts of the curriculum. The yellow one are the computer science part of the curriculum, and the colored ones belong to other areas. So starting from the third semester, students can start their early specialization by choosing some of the classes in the third semester are choice classes. So you can start choosing towards natural and life sciences, or towards mathematics, or towards humanities, or towards computer science. So it depends all on your interests. And during the third semester, it's also possible to take more specialization, especially if students do not know what they want to specialize in, or want to keep different options still open. And in that case, although those specialization classes or early specialization classes in third semester are offered in a way that they don't intersect, and all the credits, the additional credits you acquired in the third semester, can be brought in as electives in the later semesters of the specialization. So the first specialization I want to talk about is computer science. Once again, the same color coding. So the yellow is computer science, and the green one is mathematics classes. So the computer science specialization covers the standard computer science areas, and in addition, it also has two large mathematics components, and it also has an elective component that can be used to put in classes from other areas. So natural life sciences specialization offers different classes. Here you see more blue color. Blue color means our application area. So you have different types of offerings from physics, chemistry, biochemistry, life sciences, and also, of course, from mathematical part of the curriculum. The applied AI and data science specialization contains different set of classes. Once again, you have stochastics and statistics class, but other than that, you have lots of offerings from data science and AI specialization, and also you have different types of other offerings like AI in society. This is a part of the humanities curriculum. Going to the mathematics specialization, you see that there is lots of mathematical classes, of course, and also there are some electives that you can put in from different other areas of specialization. And the last area where we also have an option to award in a Bachelor of Arts instead of Bachelor of Science. Bachelor of Science is the degree in the first four specialization. In the fifth specialization, human-centered data science, depending on the topic of your thesis, you may also be able to obtain a Bachelor of Arts degree. Here you have much more offerings from the data science and also from humanities. So thank you very much for your attention. This is all that I wanted to present today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the input, all the details. The program, how to contact the program, everything is in chat, and of course the program information like course page and so on as well. Now we have time for the Q&A. Let's start with the first questions that I promised to answer. It's a quick one. Please, in case any of your programs is accepting Duolingo as an English proof, let us know. I think no for all, at least Wuppertal says no, and I guess it's the same for all. Okay, I will assume so. Okay, then next question is to Professor Ňuťa about, could you please explain the VPD in a bit more detailed way? I also put the whole article about how VPD works. I think this should help, but in case you want to say a few words, feel free to mention it.
Yes, so VPD is often required by German universities. I just heard in Bayreuth as well. I think in all Bavarian universities. It's basically a portal where you upload your documents. They check if the documents are valid, is the university recognized by the German system as an eligible university. Sometimes other countries call some institutions universities, which they are not universities. Yeah, this is checked, and then also the grade is calculated into the German system regardless from which background you come, and this is certified, and the whole process costs something like 20-30 euro. I don't know, so it costs a little bit of money, but then you get a certification from VPD that your university you have studied for is good, recognized by the German system, and how the grade calculates for the various study programs in Germany. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Dear attendee, if you're still here, the article for VPD is also in chat. You need to register on UniAssist, and even the video how to do it is available. I will just mention that it costs 75 euros for first application, 30 euros every following application the same semester, and VPD is valid for 1 year. Since the program has 2 intakes, you can also use it for 2 applications in case it was late issued and so on. Dr. Korzec, I have physics degree and a 4-year work experience in the field of computer science. Does this background qualify me? A general questions, but we...
Yes, I would say that that definitely qualifies you.
Thank you very much. Professor Eitziger, the question was, how much freedom do I have to combine courses from different specializations from Busen?
Yes, this is a very good question. So in each of our specializations, there is a block called electives, and usually it depends on the specialization. Some of the specialization are more liberal in terms of what they accept in terms of courses put in this block, or some other require more in their specific area of specialization. So depending on the specialization, you might be able to put many things. In other specialization, you might be only restricted in your choice of specialization. It depends. So generally, you can also petition the examination committee if you want to have a specific class to be basically credited in your specialization. Then you can also ask to be for specific classes to be credited, and depending on your if this is meaningful, usually the examination board will decide on that.
Thank you so much. I have a question for master's programs. I pursued English taught bachelor degree in mathematics and computer science. However, my university did not have a thesis or project required for this course. Am I eligible to enroll or to apply first? Professor Nucha and then Dr. Korzec.
When
So
was
if the person like did a bachelor's without a bachelor's thesis and did something instead of it as it was allowed by the...
If something is instead of a bachelor thesis, let's say a larger project where you have worked in a team, where you have written, let's say, a small text including literature review, own work, draw your own conclusions, do experiments, then this would be valid. But you need to explain this and you make this crystal clear in your application, in your cover letter that, let's say, this course for this amount of ECTS or of credit points replaces at your university a bachelor thesis.
Thank you. Dr. Korzec?
I think it's the same for us. For us, UniAssist tests the applicants, and if they consider your bachelor degree to be a valid bachelor degree also for the German system, then we will accept it.
Thank you. Professor Eitziger, is programming experience needed before starting the program, and how large are the classes?
So the programming experience is not needed to start our program. We admit people without programming. There is no requirement to that. And the classes, it depends how many. So the program does not have a restriction on number of admitted students. So the classes we usually in Bayreuth are very small. I mean, the upper limit for the practical classes is around 20. Usually they are smaller than that. The lectures could be large. So usually the lecture classes, it was already mentioned by my colleague from Würzburg, that usually their curriculum consists mainly of 2 or 3 components. There's lectures in, so all members of the same program are usually present in the lecture. So if we admit 60 people, there will be 60 people. If you admit 25 people, there will be 25 people in the lecture class. But the practical sessions and tutorials and labs are usually much smaller. As I said, usually the upper limit is 20.
Thank you so much. There is a general question about scholarships that I would like to take. First of all, dear attendees, presented programs, as already mentioned, have no tuition fees, so you can see it all here and here. Therefore, the scholarships will be used towards your daily expenses and also visa in case you need to apply for visa. And as already mentioned, we have a whole article or section for scholarships on our page. You can see the 10 things, and there is a special data scholarship guide which explains how to register there and how to find a scholarship, then availabilities for you. And then we have scholarship data specifically for different countries. You can see different countries here, but you can click on more articles and have more countries. So I would put these links in chat right now because this is true for all programs. Just want to mention in the beginning that for bachelor's programs there are limited amount of scholarships. There are more options are for masters, and if you don't want to apply for D.A or because you are already late, then you can also check out promotion of talent organizations, and they are also providing some scholarships, but usually the requirement is to have some skills of German or be present have done at least 1 semester in Germany. I will also put that in the chat. Before that, 3 questions for Wuppertal. Hello, I have 3 questions. Are research internships a part of the program? Are there workshops to improve coding or computational skills? And do the costs include access to softwares?
So maybe I start at the last point. So once you are a student, you have access to all university-wide licenses. That's not every software that exists, but for example, we have a MATLAB license for every student. The second thing, the workshops. So we have these lab courses. They are practical courses where you learn programming hands-on. We have computer labs. We have weekly exercises that you solve there, and there is always a person to help you programming.
And
Could
the
you
first
repeat
one was, are the research internships a part of the program?
I think they are not mandatory, but many of our students do internships like this. For instance, we collaborate with 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘐 a lot and the computer center there. And 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘐 offers a summer student program that many of our students participate in.
Thank you
Also,
so much.
when you work on your master thesis, it's quite common that you do it outside of the university together with a company.
My university offers only 120 credits for 3 years bachelor's program. So I'm being rejected even though my grade is 2.2 German GPA and I have C1 English and B2 German. How can I make up for the missing credits? This is for the master's programs. Professor Nucha or Dr. Korzec?
Yes, this is yes, the requirements say that to be eligible for a master program, you should have studied for 180 credits, so at least 6 semester. Many foreign students, as far as I know, have 4 years bachelor programs. I have actually never seen a 2-year bachelor program. So there might be something done before the 2-year bachelor program to make clear that your education after high school was something like 3 years in the application. So otherwise, you won't be accepted at any German university, unfortunately.
I think the person says it was a 3 years bachelor's program, but they give 120 credits for this. Maybe they were
But this is usually calculated, yeah. So American universities give often 10 credits per semester, while German universities get 30 credits per semester. But this is there are formulas for calculating this. This is usually done by this Uni Assist VPD, this check and these calculations. Yeah, but it needs to be a 3 or 4 year program before entering a master program in Germany.
So yeah, usually courses like Coursera and so on does not make up for the ECTS because it's not a university entrance qualification. So dear applicant, since you have already tried to apply to different universities, maybe I would contact them personally if one of them is present today. For example, Wuppertal also has its own session soon, so maybe you could join them to have a one-to-one kind of conversation to maybe find a solution for your case. But generally, like, because UniAssist will not check your whole motivation letters, they will not read it. They will just check if the diploma is recognized in Germany or not, and if there are enough ECTS. So they're doing this technical check, or like very dry check, let's say like this, not how good candidate you are and that you have B2 and C1 and so on. So maybe it will be more beneficial to try to contact the program, and I hope one of them is present today, so you could already you check the emails that are in chat and maybe contact them. But yeah, Coursera and similar things usually do not compensate for this. Maybe you could also, if it's not strictly to computer science, could check some private universities that do not that could kind of compensate this with work experience, but it's usually only private and very exceptional cases. So maybe this could be an option. And I think there are questions for bachelor program again about if somebody is eligible with IB certificate, Cambridge A levels, and if somebody should do a Studienkolleg if my 13th year requirement is necessary. Professor Eitziger, if you could start, and maybe I could also put a link to their portal where they can check if they have direct access or not.
Exactly. Those are general admission questions. So in terms of general qualification, everybody admitted to our program has to prove the German university entrance qualification. This is not something specific to our program. It is general for every university bachelor program in Germany. So Studienkolleg is one of the options to acquire this qualification. And I think Nino probably has more information on the general requirements. How do you access the German university programs, bachelor programs, if you have some certain types of school diploma? There are some relatively complicated set of rules depending on what type of diploma you do have.
Maybe really briefly, I put the link to this data database because, as Professor already mentioned, depending on your country where you received your high school certificate, there are different requirements that you need to fulfill. And on the example of Peru, you then need to select which of this you had. So I don't know, that's why I cannot select it. And then you are asked a few questions. For this case, it was 2, but sometimes there are follow-ups. And then you get answer if you need Studienkolleg or not. So this one says that you have the direct general admission for academic studies in any subject area. Sometimes it can say that you have restricted subject area. In case you need to do a Studienkolleg, but you don't want to do a Studienkolleg in Germany, you can also do 1 year university in your home country and then apply, then you will compensate for this 13th year. So it's really important to check according to your country. And the link to that is already in chat. And the last question maybe for Professor Nucha, it was about the German language requirement. When do you need German? Is it from the very first semester, or
So
also?
to study for masters in Würzburg in computer science, you don't need any German knowledge. Yeah, even if you say I have not even A1, whatever, you are permitted, and we say German is helpful but not required. Yeah.
Okay, then I think it was a typo on our end that I will report, because it's maybe somebody saw it here that there is also German
Well,
and English.
officially it works a bit different. There may be something on our website that this is required, but
Okay.
it's not checked. So I think
Okay.
that's the official status. Yeah, so that yeah, that
Okay.
that they say it would be nice to have B2, but they are not checking it, and you really can go without it. Yeah,
Okay,
but
thank you. Good to
if
know.
you
That's
find
why,
this in our program, just ignore it.
okay. That's why good. That's why it's good to join the webinars and you get some insights as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, so Mustak, I see your question, and it's very detailed, but as I showed you, you need to check it according to this DADE page, because obviously I don't know for all countries with different graduation years what are the requirements, so it's easier to follow this page. If you say that it's equivalent to full bachelor's degree, then of course you can this meets a 4-year bachelor's degree requirement for your master's in IT programs. So if you have normal bachelor's degree, which is right now more than 210, it's 360 ECTS, then of course you will be eligible to apply, and best of luck with the application. I see some people joined right now. We are at the very end of the webinar, so in case you joined only now, but you registered for the webinar, don't worry, you will receive a follow-up email from the session with the presentations and further details. And in case the video will be published, you can also rewatch the session, today's webinar. So I see Atuyap saying hello. Hi, thank you for joining. I have already graduated from Bachelor of Engineering in Egypt, and I want to get a Bachelor in Data Science, AI, 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘵, my study in English. Can I apply with you? Dear Faisal, professor is still here. He could also give you a feedback, but I want to mention that since you already have Bachelor, this is good. You will not have to do any Studienkolleg, but the grade, I don't know if it will count it, because the main thing is that you have so majority of people apply with high school certificate, I guess. So your bachelor will not kind of increase your chances. Or if I'm wrong, professor, feel free to correct.
You're totally correct. So we generally do not take into account either the school grade or the VPT grade or the bachelor grade. We basically, the only score that counts for the international application is SAT or TEST-IS score. So this is the only admission requirement where you have to fulfill certain minimum score.
Thank you. With this, then we have cleared the board. Thank you very much for